Let's hear from the coach. This is Behind the Beard with Bobby Smirniotis, Forge FC head coach and sporting director. Now, the woman who takes us there, here's Mackenzie Barwell on the Forge Audio Network.
Episode 32.
Episode number 32 of Behind the Beard. No, 17 actually, which is kind of crazy.
17 weeks.
What's crazier, 17 weeks of Behind the Beard or 150 matches with Forge FC?
Should have been more.
True.
I see you cleaned up in the office a little bit.
I did. I'm not going to lie. There were a couple things around I needed to move. Hope you don't mind.
All right.
Just made myself right at home when I
No
walked
problem.
in here.
It is kind of homey in here. No?
It is. It's a bit hot, I'm not going to lie.
A little plain.
Oh, yeah. People think that we decorated for the podcast, but this is just your office.
Yeah, it's the only corner in the
I was
room
going to
or something.
say, the people don't know, it's the only corner in the room that has anything on it.
That's
So
it.
don't get too excited. Okay, Bobby, first things first, I want to do a quick debrief about the Vancouver match. Talking first about Woobs, obviously going home with a hat trick. What was it like for you to see him perform that way after, those games for him, I guess, haven't come by as often or as frequently as they did last year?
Yeah, you look at it in two different aspects. One is individually for the player. It's fantastic. It's great for his confidence and a striker to get on the score sheet, and when you can score a few, it's the right time of year to get yourself moving. And the second thing is just tactically, it's what we wanted to work. Having him and T close together with each other, thinking that would give us a little bit more opportunities and good quality chances around the goal.
Yeah.
So one, it's great for the player, and two, it's great for what we wanted tactically in the match, and it gives us another thing to look at as we go forward in this important stretch.
That was going to be my next thing, actually, because listening to you at the press conference, you mentioned how it is tough to kind of figure out how you're going to go about the attack when one player's hot, and you don't always go with that look where two of them are in the box. So can you kind of elaborate more on the dynamic that they bring when they're together?
Yeah, everything is dependent too on who we're playing and where we think we can maximize the most out of our players and the skill set of our players. So we have to look at it individually. You can't just take the game and get all excited from it and say, oh, this is the way to do it every game looking forward. We look at each team a little bit separately, and then you also look at where your form is and what really clicked. So when you go from week to week, there's a few different variables you look at, and it's the same thing we'll do as we prepare for Saturday's game against Cavalry.
So in deciding with Woobs and tearing together, what goes into that?
Yeah, how the opponents maybe defend, maybe the weaknesses of the opponent in certain areas of the pitch, and just making sure we have the right players in the right zones that they can take advantage of that. Against Vancouver, we thought, that was one of the areas where we can pin them a little bit further back and create certain situations we wanted to be a little bit more forward thinking. I think that's something that we've lacked in the previous games that we've played that were all draws. So there's a lot of different factors that go into it, but mostly it's about personnel and where we can take advantage of the opponent's weaknesses, because it doesn't matter who you play, they all have weaknesses, and you got to make sure that you really understand where those are and put the right players or the right skill set in the areas to take advantage of it.
Like you said, obviously playing Cavalry this weekend will transition into that, because I want to keep the theme going with these episodes where we kind of reflect and then look into the future for this weekend's matchup. So what are some changes that you're looking to make when looking back at that last matchup that you guys played?
Yeah, I don't know about changes. The only thing is we must win. So we can talk about all the tactics we want. This is a game for our club to try and climb to the top. It's a must-win situation based on where the points are at this point in the season with the games left. This is a great opportunity for us to come out and get 3 points at home and really make things interesting down the stretch. There's two things that are in play here. One is playoffs because everything is really tight. Nothing is guaranteed, and the second thing is 3 points here give you an opportunity to really be close and be within a point of Cavalry at the top position. So I think we can talk about how we prepare and all of this, but we're going to need 11 guys to go out there and give everything on this Saturday night.
I wanted to ask you about something else that I talked to Eddie about a couple weeks ago, because looking at the standings, like you said, you're about 4 points behind, so getting this win would close that gap, but they also have a game in hand, and Eddie talked about how there are pros and cons to that, because you could either get ahead more points early on in the season or have a game in hand later on. So what are your thoughts on that, given the circumstance of the standings?
Always the most important thing is control what you can control. That because we've been in the same situation as a team. We've been up in the standings with games in hand or more games than the opponent. And sometimes when you have more games than your opponents, you have that tendency to think, okay, we've got another one in the bank.
Right.
We've got 3 more points that we can play for.
Right.
And sometimes you can lose sharpness. So you can look at it different ways. For us, we just look at the points that are on the board right now. The points that are on the board are 3 for the taking, and if it's 3 for us on Saturday night, that gets us within 1 point. And then the rest, it's we got to keep on doing our business. We have to be near flawless from now until the end of the season, and then from there on in, we see how this crazy season goes in the CPL.
Okay, I want to move on quickly to some individual player stuff because we just realized yesterday that Garv's been called up again to the national team. So, thoughts on that? This is the second time this season. Of course, a player like him would be, but what are you thinking?
Yeah, he had an excellent Gold Cup tournament with Haiti, and he did a great job playing in some very important matches. So I think it's only normal. This is a guy who's got an immense ability on the field, on the ball, defending. We've missed him through a couple of injuries, and then for a 6-week period when he was with the national team.
Right.
So that's kind of taken him a little bit off of seeing him week in, week out since he's been back from the national team. I think he's started in all but one of those games, and he's been an important player for us in that back line. Not only in his ability to defend, but also his ability to carry the ball up the field from different positions as a central defender, as a left back, and inverting. He's so versatile in the way he plays.
Yeah.
And it's just it's always excellent. You never want to lose a player at this point of the season, but representing national team, representing and playing in Nations League qualifiers, I think it's all important for the players, and it only makes the player better in the long run.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, it's hard to lose him, but at the same time, do you think there are benefits, obviously, to coming back from playing at that level, even to the CPL?
Yeah, so long as we have 3 points after this weekend.
Oh, gosh, I know. Okay, one other thing regarding a player, alumni now, Ashton Morgan has recently made an announcement that he is now the manager of player relations. I wrote it down, player and alumni relations. So, quickly, judging on my experience with him, I think he'd be a good fit, eh?
Yeah, it's a fantastic fit for him. It's the conversations that we had, before he stopped here, just about his next steps and wanting to be involved in the game. And he's an excellent leader in the locker room, working with especially young players with our club over these last 2 years. And I think it's an excellent role for him. He's somebody who was part of Toronto FC in their organization, I think, for a better part of 13, 14 years. Playing there, somebody's knocking on the door, so we'll allow that to sit. Maybe 30 seconds later we'll get another one. But yeah, he's been somebody who is very important in that organization. I think as a player, when you stop playing, the natural fit is to go back to somewhere that feels like home. And I think he'll do a great job. He has a lot of experience in the game. He has a lot of experience from development and becoming a first-team player.
Yeah.
And I think he'll be able to help a lot of the young players over there, which is always needed in the club.
That's sweet, yeah. I think he's going to kill it. He's got a coffee shop. He's doing too many things at once.
Keep him busy.
Exactly. Okay, last thing before we finish. Wait, can you look that way for a second?
What's going on?
I don't know if you know. Don't look over here.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Am I looking at?
You can look now. Have you seen
You guys couldn't get the black and white
No,
stripes?
it has to be orange.
That is something else.
Here.
I think I have my own.
No, it's pretty spot on, eh?
It's pretty good.
This is the first
That's pretty good. Now when you see
2,000.
it here, shape is pretty good.
Like even the head shape.
Not bad at all,
The
guys.
first 2,000
Well done.
Forge fans on Saturday are getting these courtesy of access
I'd
storage.
say 6,000 fans shouldn't be wearing them. Those two, no problem, Forge.
So what do you think your wife's going to think, looking into the stands and seeing 2,000 Bobbies?
Yeah, it's going to be something else. I'll tell you who will be excited is my boys. They'll
They're
absolutely
going to love it.
Yes.
I can't wait to see them wearing one of these.
Hey, Halloween. You're all set?
No, actually, I might do that. Did you know that we were doing this?
No, did not. Did not. I heard there was something going on, but
Yeah, happy 150 matches.
Thank you.
Now you get to see 2,000 of yourself in the fans. Maybe I'll do it to in-game host actually.
2,000
Large
fans
fans
rocking
welcome.
it. Why not? Saturday night, be here.
Be here, Tim Hortons Field. If you want one of these, come early.
This has been Behind the Beard with Mackenzie Barwell and Bobby Smyrniotis. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share.
Corey, you know what you need to find for me? Just
What's
so you get things done.
Yeah.
Our team photos. Since year one, we've taken team
Yes.
photos.
Like on the fields?
Yeah.
Or, yeah. I'll find them.
We don't have a team photo in our locker room. We've taken
What?
a team photo every year.
What?
We've never actually,
Had like them
So-
printed or sent to you guys?
no, printed, sent.
Okay, I'll
Like
search
we
them
need to
now.
make, get it properly framed for the
Yes.
locker room.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
first locate them,
Yep.
and then we gotta figure out who's gonna do them,
Exactly.
right?
Okay.
Who's gonna frame them so we can get,
So you have a team photo from this year? You just
from
need to.
every year. Did we
Every-
do one this year?
I don't think, I didn't do one.
Can't
this
remember.
year.
Corey's like, it wasn't me.
Not this one, not this one.
Yeah,